Sportsmanship starts with you.
Good sportsmanship means showing respect to student athletes, coaches, officials, and those around you.
Good sportsmanship is about character, accountability,
and setting a positive example in and out of competition.
Before the game starts, remember, sportsmanship starts with you.
We watch sports to see the unexpected. We play sports to feel something. Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. But our reputation wasn't given to us, it was earned. We are the rising stars, the grinders, the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. From the backyards and backfields to the back rooms and backstage, we put in the work, and we're starting to reap the rewards. We've got events wacky and wild. Big and small, we host them all. And that old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the essence are silent. Let's go!
Wow.
Sportsmanship starts with you.
Good sportsmanship means showing respect to student athletes, coaches, officials, and those around you.
Good sportsmanship is about character, accountability,
and setting a positive example in and out of competition.
Before the game starts, remember, sportsmanship starts with you.
We watch sports to see the unexpected. We play sports to feel something. Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. But our reputation wasn't given to us, it was earned. We are the rising stars, the grinders, the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. From the backyards and backfields to the back rooms and backstage, we put in the work, and we're starting to reap the rewards. We've got events wacky and wild. Big and small, we host them all. And that old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the essence are silent. Let's go!
You're watching the 2024 Iowa High School Athletic Association State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. We've got a picture-perfect opening day at state as we jump into the action in Class 2A. It's the 5-seed Bishop Heelan Crusaders going head-to-head against the 4-seed Webster City Lynx. And hello, soccer fans. We're delighted to have you with us here on this Wednesday afternoon from the County Soccer Complex in Des Moines. Today's broadcast is complimentary to view by the IHSAA on YouTube and the IHSAA's website. Alongside my broadcast partner, Sam Kane, I'm Hunter Phillips. And Sam, this has the makings of a really good one here. This is a loaded Class 2A field that we'll dive into throughout the course of our broadcast. But these two sides, they know how to put the ball in the back of the net, so I think we should expect some fireworks here out of these two squads.
Yeah, it should be a great game today, Hunter. It looks like both teams, bring that technical prowess to the field. So, it should be a game where we see a lot of passing combinations, a lot of movements off the ball, and it's just a good day for, overall for a fantastic watch of this beautiful sport.
These are two programs that made it here to the state tournament last year. For Bishop Heelan, it was their first appearance in quite some time, since 2012, and they were able to make it all the way to the semifinals, eventually falling to eventual state champion Gilbert. They are the number one seed in this Class 2A field. And as for Webster City, they're hungry for more. They fell to Nevada 1-0 in the quarterfinals last year. But again, these are two sides that definitely have the personnel, especially in the attacking third, to make things happen. The back lines, the keepers are really going to be on their toes here throughout the course of these two halves. Both sides are there on the touchline, and here in just a matter of moments, we will go ahead and turn things over to our public address announcer to meet both sides, including the starting 11s for this Class 2A quarterfinal between Webster City and Bishop Heelan.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Iowa High School Athletic Association and the City of Des Moines welcome you to County Soccer Park and the 2024 Boys State Soccer Tournament. This quarterfinal match in Class 2A features the Crusaders of Bishop Heelan and the Lynx of Webster City. Let's meet the players and coaches of both teams. First, for the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Crusaders of Bishop Heelan, introducing the starters and assistant coaches. Number 1, Taylor Billings. Number 2, Sebastian Flores. Number 6, Chris Pena. Number 8, Isaiah Galan Quiros. Number 14, Javon Guevara. Number 17, Elias Flannery. Number 18, Alex Gonzalez. Number 19, Luke Dutcher. Number 22, Duan Nguyen. And number 24, Gabe Newberg. Assistant coaches, Brandon Burgad and Brett Thomas. Now for the home team on the scoreboard, the Lynx of Webster City, introducing the starters and assistant coaches. Number 1, Gavin Weinkoop. Number 8, Aaron Mendoza. Number 13, Giovanni Morales. Number 14, Danny Morales. Number 15, Fernando Ruby Antunez. Number 16, Christian Banda Bermudez. Number 18, Francisco Aguera Chavez. Number 19, Isaac Krim. And number 00, David Mora Maplika. Introducing the starting lineup for Bishop Heelan. Starting off, senior number 3, George Sabanos. Number 4, a junior, Cesar De Leon. A junior, number 5, Brian Rios. A junior, number 7, Dylan Carnes. A junior, number 9, Sergio Mijangos. A senior, number 10, Jesse Castillo. A junior, number 11, Andres Gonzalez. A senior, number 12, Jacob Bissell. A senior, number 15, Jorge Velasquez. A senior, number 21, Bernardo Velasquez. And in goal this afternoon, a junior, number 0, Landon Block. The Crusaders, with a record of 14-3, are coached by Pat Herbst. Introducing the starting lineup for Webster City. A junior, number 2, Eric Torres. A senior, number 3, Walfrey Gonzalez Lopez. A freshman, number 4, Abasai Ramirez Camona. A senior, number 5, Aiden Ray. A junior, number 11, Eddie Fuentes. A senior, number 9, Eduardo Perez. A junior, number 10, Connor Peck. Junior, number 11, Francisco Ramirez Carmona. A freshman, number 12, David Villegas. A freshman, number 17, Israel Torres. And in goal, a freshman, 0-0, Edwin Nolasco Ramos. The Lynx, with a record of 15-1, are coached by Craig Sigoring. Your officials for this game assigned by the Iowa High School Athletic Association are your center referee, George Schaub. First official, Logan Swain. Second official, Patrick Gordon. And the fourth official, Thomas McCullough. The field is yours. Good luck.
And before we begin today's match, we'd like to once again thank the Iowa Farm Bureau for presenting the 2024 IHSAA State Soccer Tournament. As sole title sponsor of the Iowa High School Athletic Association, the Iowa Farm Bureau recognizes athletic and academic achievement on the field and in the classroom, helping to nurture Iowa's future leaders. So both sides have been announced. And you know, Sam, whenever there's that buildup of making it to state, obviously these two sides know what it takes to get here, but still there's going to be those opening nerves, if you will, to be able to try to set the tone early on.
Yeah, absolutely. The first 10 minutes really give, you an insight of who has a little bit more of that experience in these moments, because you see one team playing a little bit more confident than the other. So it'd be interesting to see how that unfolds. But, both teams coming off of fantastic seasons. The Lynx, with a record of 15-1, the Crusaders with a record of 14-3. So, both teams used to winning, and imposing themselves, in the games that they played thus far.
And it will be the first ever meeting between these two programs. Bishop Heelan, the 5 seed, again, record of 14-3. They will be in the white kits with navy blue numerals and lettering and trim. Meanwhile, for Webster City, the 4 seed, coming in with a great record of 15-1. Black and white kits with a faint purple numerals and lettering and trim. There on the right-hand side of your screen. So the opening touch will belong to Bishop Heelan. Already for Class 3A here on this opening day at state. Now it is Class 2A's turn as we are off and running here at County. Ball sent early out by Webster City for Bishop Heelan, led by their fourth-year head coach, Pat Herbst. Really has enjoyed coaching this group this year, says they really not only enjoy scoring, but more so being able to assist one another, finding one another. And that has been a winning formula here throughout the year. We have an early shot hoisted up and goal kick here for Webster City. Edwin Nolasco Ramos, just a freshman. He is the keeper for Webster City, 87.9% save percentage. A lot of confidence given 13th-year head coach Craig Signering, where the young freshman is in there. And, boy, he has delivered in a big way this year as the ball is sent into the half of Bishop Heelan. And they're able to keep it within the touchline. Now rotating there along the far side are the Crusaders out of the Missouri River Conference, making the trek from Sioux City. Great showing of fans from Sioux City and also from Webster City, which is northwest, about an hour and a half or so from the Des Moines Metro. Cross there towards the center, dangerous ball for Webster City. They initially clear it out, and collecting it for Bishop Heelan is Dylan Carnes. Ball delivered there to the far post, but it goes over. But an energetic start here, Sam, for Bishop Heelan.
Yeah, lots of energy from both sides, and still kind of a neck and neck game. But both teams looking to get forward quickly, playing with that urgency, and it wouldn't be surprised if we see some real goal scoring opportunities in the near future.
They know how to put themselves in those positions. Foul here on Bishop Heelan. Webster City out of the North Central Conference. Once again, second consecutive trip for the Lynx. The first coming back in 2012. Defeated Clear Lake decisively 5-1 in their sub-state final. And entered the state tournament on an 11-match winning streak. Eddie Fuentes will be on the ball here for the Lynx.
Yeah, Fuentes with 36 goals this season, so certainly want to keep an eye on throughout this game. It looks like he's playing in the central part of midfield, and more of a number 10, number 8 / position. Very big accomplishment to be reaching those double digits in that sort of position on the field.
Boy, that could have been absolute disaster for Webster City as the keeper, Nolasco Ramos, kind of stumbled a bit.
Yeah, deflection is a keeper's worst nightmare. It's very difficult for even the best of the keepers out there to get their hands on a deflection. And it's like a unfortunate start here, with this conceding of a penalty for Webster City.
So occurred within the box. Dylan Carnes trying to give the Crusaders the early advantage. Knocks it home, Bishop Heelan within the first 3 minutes. Gets on the board and they lead 1-0. But Sam, it was all set up from a penalty against Webster City.
Yeah, he stepped up confidently there and was able to find some great placement there on goal. Good finish.
Just the 5th penalty kick attempt for Bishop Heelan as a team this year.
Yeah, an unfortunate handball there to concede this early on, but let's see if we can see Webster City find their way back into this game.
For Carnes, that was his 5th goal of the season. It's now 3 of 5 on the year. It's Bishop Heelan and penalty kicks. So just the start that the 5 seed wanted. But Webster City, they're a team that knows how to battle through adversity and can get going in a flurry. Good slide from the end line. Cleared out initially by Bishop Heelan. It will remain with Webster City. Eduardo Perez, their far side for the Lynx, gets dispossessed. Good active feet here early on by Bishop Heelan, because this will be an awfully aggressive attacking front third all afternoon long out of Webster City. The Lynx able to regroup. Collecting is Fuentes. Mentioned Fuentes, impressive numbers, those 36 goals. That is 2nd in Class 2A. And as a team, Webster City, 85 goals, also 2nd in Class 2A. But Bishop Heelan, they've also put up incredible numbers as well. There around the ball is Miangos. Boy, he is such an exciting player to watch. There to collect is Nolasco Ramos. Exciting, up and down, 5 minutes here in this Class 2A quarterfinal.
Yeah, certainly a high-energy start to the game. Both teams showing some quality, with individual moments and just overall team play.
So a throw-in for Bishop Heelan, a team that has 11 seniors on it. A lot of starters returning from last year's team that, again, made it all the way to the semifinals a year ago. Bishop Heelan defeating a very good Sioux Center team 2-0 in their sub-state final. Talk about a team that just really got after it. Bishop Heelan outshot Sioux Center 23-9 in that contest. Really handled the majority of the possession. Ball's going to go the other way. So again, the other matches going on across Class 2A. Number 1 Gilbert in their title defense taking on the 8-seed Center Point Urbana. 3-seed Decorah taking on the 6-seed Perry. And then Glenwood and Davenport Assumption. Assumption really a staple for state soccer. Have made several trips here to Des Moines over the years. But the winner of this game will go on to face either Gilbert or Center Point Urbana in the semifinals, taking place Friday. There's a blistering attempt there from the far angle.
Yeah, Miango's just showing his vertical ability to find that space and behind of the back line of Webster City. Unfortunate on that one not to hit the target.
Well, Miangos is only a junior, 27 goals. That is third in Class 2A. There with it across the center line is Jesse Castillo. They work it to the far flank, maybe trying to establish something more towards the center. Webster City right there. That one flicked that by Sabanos of Bishop Heelan. And you know, Sam, Sergio was a player, Miangos, that they did not have here at state last year and still were able to make it to the semifinals. And they feel like having him could be the piece that they need to really make a special run here in Des Moines this week.
Oh, well, absolutely. When you've got a player of that stature, you know, with the goals that he has, you know, to his name this season, it just brings confidence to the team, you know, on any given day. And it sometimes is what it is needed to get you to that final phase of the tournament.
Got a foul here on the other side.
You know, he's shown already, you know, his comfort in being able to play with his back to goal, his ability to, you know, also run vertically in behind the defense. You know, and a modern-day striker today, that's what you're looking for. Again, I mean, this is a really interesting start, and an unfortunate start for Webster City. If we look back here, another PK has been conceded.
Sabanos drills it there to the bottom left.
And it's a great finish. Absolutely great finish. And a little bit of misfortune going on here, you know, as far as conceding 2 PKs this early on in the game. I mean,
well, and you can look at
nightmare of a start.
The body language of the Lynx, and they are just perplexed right now. Meanwhile, for Bishop Heelan, they have doubled up the amount of penalty kick attempts from all season here within the first 8 minutes. For Sabanos, second goal on the season. And all of his goals, too, have come via a PK. Landon Block, junior keeper, who has been between the pipes all season long for Bishop Heelan, comes up to make the play. So now if you're Webster City, Sam, I mean, how do you regroup here after just 2 miscues within the 18-yard box?
Well, you can see that they, you know, initially started off with a relatively defensive approach. You know, as you see, number 2, Fuentes, he's playing kind of as a lone forward and, you know, relying on, you know, the second and third runners to support, you know, when he's in possession of the ball. And you know, they had an early moment in the first 5 minutes of the game where he was able to show his change of pace on the dribble. But, you know, the question now is how do we get him more involved, right? And how do we get more of our offensive producers, you know, out there, you know, getting, you know, and creating chances on goal.
Volley attempt to try to get that one out for Bishop Heelan, but one of the initial very good looks here for Webster City, hoping that they can build off of it. Like we talked about, an absolutely beautiful afternoon here It's going to be a beautiful week here in Des Moines for state soccer. 71 degrees, sunny skies, clouds scattered about. Gusts will reach about 10 miles an hour. Otherwise, again, just the ideal conditions for playing here. Trying to keep it within the touch line is Webster City. They'll get that on Cesar De Leon. Trying to track down Eric Torres.
Still a lot of time to get back into this game, and it's good to see Webster City still playing with their heads held high and finding, ways to exploit the defense of Bishop Heelan today.
Here to take this free kick will be Torres, the junior. Torres bent in a bit. A little too far, so Block was easily able to grab that. Block had goal this season for Bishop Heelan, 92.8% save percentage. Has only conceded 6 goals here on the year. Just a tough customer there in that regard. We have a whistle here. We'll reset. Jacob Bissell will throw this one in, senior. One of 11 seniors on this Crusaders team. Into the team captain, Miangos. Tight spacing here, trying to work it out. It's Bishop Heelan. But then continuing to press there. This near touch line side, great help defense there from Eddie Fuentes. But the possession thus far has been heavily controlled by Bishop Heelan, who leads 2-0. 12 minutes into our opening half. So we'll stay with Heelan. And just think about this, Sam. Over the last 7 matches, the Crusaders have outscored their opponents 32-2.
It's an excellent statistic and one to be proud of. And you can see, these boys are on a mission today, and they're playing with that purpose. They're playing with that energy, and that's a big part of why they've gotten off to a great start.
Good opportunity there once again for Bishop Heelan. So starting to build there around the 6. Booted deep by Nolasco Ramos. Now the last loss for this Bishop Heelan team came against Lewis Central, who got upset. Team that was expected to make it here to state. That was a 1-0 loss. But here come the Lynx. Clean takeaway there by Bishop Heelan, but it will remain with the Lynx. And that is just how quick Webster City is when they're on the ball, and how they've been able to successfully counter many of their teams this season.
Yeah, the Torres and Fuentes combination is definitely in full effect when they're breaking into that attacking third.
So playing from the corner, maybe trying to win another one. Now a mad dash here near side.
Great ball.
And now approaching up towards the top of the box was Rios. End-to-end play, but offside will be the call.
Yeah, and this is where Heelan have to be, cognizant is Webster City. They're going to, drop into that deep defensive shell, and they're going to look for those moments where they can exploit on the counter. So, when they're throwing numbers forward, their outside backs are looking to get forward quite regularly in that middle third, attacking third build. The question is, are they going to be able to respond consistently today to those transitional moments from Webster City?
Now we'll have an opportunity to see our first set of substitutions in our match. 2 will be coming in for Bishop Heelan. one change looks like here for Webster City. So from the corner, swung out. Some contact there between both sides. And this is a Bishop Heelan team as well that leads all of Class 2A in corner kicks. 163 they have compiled heading into the state tournament. So a team that knows how to get their set pieces. And they know how to take advantage of them, as we've seen throughout the course of this season. Quickly here on the ball again is Eddie Fuentes.
Oh,
Shake and
great
bake.
Play.
Foul to the middle. Just off to the back, but boy, he is just so shifty there.
Yeah, he's the type of player that gets you off your seat. You know, as you saw there, the shift of his body from left to right, you know, being able to change pace on the dribble. Not a skill every player out there possesses. So fun to watch.
So off the corner kick, Webster City facing an early deficit, looking to crack the code here against the formation of Bishop Heelan. Aggressive play, charging on was Villegas for Webster City. But the Crusaders on it. Sent to the far end by Andres Gonzalez. Good ball there, right towards goal. Had an opportunity, but Webster City had enough to be able to stop anyone from reaching there closer in the box.
Yeah, this is a concern if they want to have some sort of possession count in this game. Webster City have to be more aware when those balls, you know, are being punted from the keeper, having that second ball support, you know, nearby. You know, as we've seen, the keeper's always looking to play that solo forward up front. Right now, it's number 7, Mr. Eddie Fuentes. And when he's kicking those balls, it seems like the line is not stepping up to support. And that is going to be a challenge if they want to have any sort of possession and control of this game today.
So the goal kick will reach the fans. More and more making their way here to the County Soccer Complex. It's always nice to not have to have the umbrellas out due to rain. We've had some wild weather here in the month of May. Haven't had to shade the sun. Another ball will be sent out of play. Collecting off the throw-in is Fuentes. Sabanos, who connected on the second PK goal, clears it for Bishop Heelan. Just a nice play by Eduardo Perez to be able to come up with the stop. So we have a whistle here that'll go against Bishop Heelan. Free kick for David Villegas. One of a number of youngsters on this Webster City team, one of 6 freshmen. Headed out, still staying alive, block. Couldn't quite get his hands on it, but it rolls off the goal line. So a frantic moment there for Bishop Heelan, but they're able to escape it. And they will once again bring in a reserve. Jesse Castillo, after a quick breather, is back in. Castillo, an important member of this Bishop Heelan team. He will go on to play at Western Iowa Tech Community College. The link's right there to wrap it up. Strong footwork there on the part of Gonzalez Lopez, the senior defender for Webster City. Across the center line, not liking the options. They will reset backside. Right ball that's placed ahead. Collecting it is Flannery, now up to the center. Shot got deflected there shortly after and went up. And so Webster City is able to escape after really a phenomenal ball that was sent ahead, and Elias Flannery delivered it there to the center, and then Webster City was able to do enough to be able to swallow up any kind of potential scoring attempt.
Yeah, good off-the-ball movement there from number 10 from Heelan Castillo. Just showing the athleticism that he brings to the field.
There is the aforementioned Castillo. Contact here. Let's see who is down here for Webster City. It was just two players challenging for the ball.
Yeah, it looked like Castillo had his studs up on that challenge, and that would result in a card or, a heavy warning, as we would say. Okay, well, as we can see, this is the state tournament, and the officials are not taking any prisoners out there, as they should not. They have to set the tone, and it's been a tough one for our center today. He's had to make some controversial decisions, and he's got a good hold of the game, though, and it seems like the game's still in control. And that's one thing, you know, as a spectator, as a coach, is our censor referee controlling the game? Is it getting out of hand? And I'd say over the last few days, it's been a phenomenal job across the board with just seeing the officiating, maintaining that control. With the craziness of the fans sometimes and the intensity of the boys on the field and gals. Just good to see that that composure when it's been needed.
Yeah, great opportunity to be able to thank all of our referees who will be here at County today, and then at least for the boys' side of things at Mediacom Stadium, Drake Stadium. Can't thank them enough for what they've done throughout the course of the season. I know that they know this is a privilege to be here. The crown jewel event for high school soccer. Went through the legs of Gonzalez Lopez. Andres Gonzalez has really been phenomenal with the way that he has been able to move the ball in space.
Yeah, it was a great spark of creativity, recognizing that the legs were open and then threading that ball through to bypass the defender. Great job.
Dylan Carnes got the first goal for Bishop Heelan, looking to get the assist. Well, being busy at goal is Nolasco Ramos. We'll have a stoppage here as a player for Webster City is down. Again, the physicality has really ramped up.
Well, everything's on the line. It's win or go home, so it's expected on a day like today.
Well, and even though there's still a lot of soccer left, you know that the urgency already is there on the side of Webster City. For really the most part of this first half, they've had their backs against the wall here as they have been pressured on both ends by Bishop Heelan.
Yeah, they certainly haven't backed down and put their heads to the benches, as you would say. They're very much focused and in this game still.
Will be Webster City ball. As we mentioned near the top of the broadcast, their head coach, Craig Signorine, in his 13th season, over 160 wins in his career, has really seen this Webster City program really rise up here, especially over the last 2 to 3 years. And being able to develop talent as well. They have, again, like we talked about, a young crop of players that are going to be big pieces moving forward, but then also have some seniors, juniors, upperclassmen who have been difference makers, even going back to their younger days at Webster City High School. Controlling it is Flannery. He has provided a lot off the bench here early for Bishop Heelan. Evading the Crusaders, the Lynx. But 3 in the midfield right there to just really force a ball there by Webster City. Just been out of sync here to start. Israel Torres, far end. They'll reverse it here to the near flank. Alfred Gonzalez Lopez. Linked ahead. Good effort to try to find Bermudez. But an even better play made here along this back end by Bissell. And it just seems like, Sam, here in the early onset, whenever Webster City is able to bring it across the midline, maybe just a little bit rushed because the opportunities have been few and far between, that they want to be able to get it up towards the front of the attacking third. They certainly have the speed to be able to do it, but some of their plays have been a little bit rushed here early.
Yeah, you know, they're playing with that one forward up front, so it makes it a little bit more difficult for the midfield when they are in possession to find other outlets if that man is marked. So, again, that's where that composure and that the movement off the ball has got to be more consistent in order for them to have a little bit more consistency in play.
Boy, it snuck through up to the front, and Andres Gonzalez knocks through the third goal here in the half for Bishop Heelan, making a statement here early.
Yeah, fantastic finish here. Head up. Great thread of the needle pass. Great understanding between these two boys, and a fantastic finish for that third goal on the day.
I believe that was Yangos that ranged in from the back to get the assist. And that play right there is just the epitome of Bishop Heelan boys soccer. And that a player like Sergio Yangos garners a lot of headlines, but he takes a lot of pride in being able to put his teammates in scoring position.
Yeah, he's a unique player. He's not your typical number 9 that's just going to run into the channels and be that aggressor, continuously, in possession moments. He likes to drop into the pockets, and link up with his nearby players and support, and it's certainly been fun to watch.
Good cross, stays alive. Just overshot there by Rios. That goal for Andres Gonzalez, the junior, with his fellow junior getting the assist. That's for Gonzalez, his 18th goal of the season. We have seen him range not only in the attacking third, but also in the mid as well. A lot of versatility shown by this Bishop Heelan team, just showing how well coached they are.
Yeah, Webster City are going to have to change things up if they want to get back into this game. They're 3 goals down now, and they're still in that shell defensively with one man up front, and they've got to do a better job winning that midfield battle. As you see, these first and second balls are not being won, and it's just been too easy for Heelan here to have control of this game.
I mean, you think about it, many white kits have spent the majority of it in the half of Webster City. Again, that second ball just has not been there for the Lynx. That one's sent out by Ramirez Carmona, the junior defender. Now a change here for head coach Pat Herbst and his Crusaders. Jorge Velasquez, who did get the start, is back in. Trying to create for Velasquez right as he came out, but just a little off. And so really an uncharted territory right now is Webster City. Team that entered the tournament again on an 11-game win streak. It outscored its opponent 71-6. But they had only conceded 2 goals in 2 matches. But there were 2 goals via PK that were drilled by Bishop Heelan within the first 10 minutes. But still, plenty of time here for Webster City to maybe try to build some momentum before we go to Heelan. Torres trying to make something happen. Was that within the box?
I think it was just outside. Torres just showing his quickness, his ability to shift on the ball, and he has been a problem. He's been a player that, has constantly tried and impressed himself on the game, but just hasn't had that final, opportunity in front of goal yet.
Eddie Fuentes there to the near side of your screen. Boy, this could be a big moment for the Lynx. Batted away by Block. Not out of the danger zone yet are the Crusaders. Hanging tough.
Yeah, that was struck well from Fuentes. Good save.
Player slow to get up in this near corner. Webster City as play continues. 1 minute to go in what's been an exciting opening half.
1 minute.
Here at the County Soccer Complex. Blazing ahead, Castillo. Work to the center of the box. Cleared away, staying in bounds. Right along the touch line. Gonzalez Lopez with great hustle. Trying to get fancy a little bit there. Villas. Bissell has been so solid in the back. He's bringing it up himself. Sent across to the far end. Exciting close. End-to-end play.
9, 8, 7,
This first half.
5, 4.
One last second chance, and it goes off the top crossbar. Oh my goodness. An exclamation point to what was a thrilling opening 40 minutes of state soccer here at the County Soccer Complex. And through one half, Bishop Heelan with a 3-0 lead over Webster City. We'll be back to take a look at the first half. Once again, you're watching free coverage of quarterfinal action provided by the IHSAA. We'll be right back with more from the Iowa High School Athletic Association State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
Sportsmanship starts with us.
As a student athlete, I need to model good behavior and represent my school appropriately.
That means respecting my teammates, coaches, opponents, the officials, and fans.
If I do that, so will others, and being a good sport becomes a way of life.
To all of Iowa's student athletes getting ready to compete, remember, sportsmanship starts with us.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision, to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Frank, when you think Fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sunkissed Orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
watch sports to see the unexpected. We play sports to feel something. Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. But our reputation wasn't given to us, it was earned. We are the rising stars, the grinders, the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. From the backyards and backfields to the back rooms and backstage, we put in the work, and we're starting to reap the rewards. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. And that old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the essence are silent. Let's go!
And we have reached halftime here at the County Soccer Complex in Des Moines, Iowa's capital city. 3-0. Excellent half for Bishop Heelan, the 5 seed, leading the 4 seed Webster City here after 40 minutes of play. And it did not take long for the Crusaders to get going. In fact, in the 3rd minute, that was the first of eventually 2 penalty kick goals that were delivered by the Crusaders. The first coming from Dylan Carnes, and then George Sabanos in the 8th minute. Andres Gonzalez in the 25th minute, notching a goal to give the Crusaders a commanding lead here through 1 half of play. Well, before we go to break, we would like to take this opportunity to thank all of the volunteers and individuals that make this and every IHSAA state tournament possible. The IHSAA is made up of 15 full-time staff members. At this time, we'd like to introduce you to that staff.
We've got a phenomenal staff, and they're very committed to not just our 360 some schools, but the 70,000 male athletes that we provide programs for. That's what we try to keep in focus as much as possible, and that keeps us going. That's the fuel that kind of makes that train run.
Been with the Athletic Association 22 years, currently one of the assistant directors under Mr. Keating, and serve in the capacity working with our student outreach services, and also am the bowling administrator, former golf administrator, and then work with our corporate sponsors and advertisers with regard to association publications, website.
So currently I'm the administrator for football, swimming, and track and field. As part of that, it's helping schools and officials with rules interpretations, organizing the state events at our different venues, communicating with officials, hiring officials, and assigning officials for the postseason competition.
I'm the director of officials, and then I'm also the sport administrator for wrestling and golf.
I help manage all the officials in the state of Iowa, make sure they're fully registered and have all their stuff completed prior to the season's beginning and the postseason.
Right now I oversee the administrative sports of basketball and soccer.
So assistant director here at State Association. I'm a sports administrator for cross country, tennis, and baseball. I do our student advisory group, and I'm one of the 3 directors that helps with eligibility.
I am an administrative assistant here at the Iowa High School Athletic Association. I help out with the enrollment in beds and participation survey and the co-op sharing agreements for schools.
My position's evolved because our communication method has switched completely online from a print or driven organization that had its own print shop to now ADs online, supers online, fans online, parents online, students online. Everybody wants to see everything, so our website became our priority. Social media exploded because it had to. We've had to digitize our operations, and so as communications director, that means coming up with a lot of new things and new ways to do things.
Internal employee type things, benefits, payrolls, things like that. I do the internal financial statements.
I assist in the accounting department, so I assist Jess as the director of finance. So I deal with all our accounts receivables and our accounts payables, and I am also assisting her with the online ticketing program, Hometown Ticketing.
I specialize kind of in the student leadership realm and help Chad with some of his workshops and registration behind the scenes. I line up meals at tournaments, hotel rooms, that kind of thing for our board. I'm just kind of the one that learns a little bit of everything and helps wherever I can.
I do all the design work and then of course print the programs and anything else that needs printed.
I think my primary roles are vision. You know, where do we want to go? What do we want to be to our schools and our young people? Also, be the public face of the Athletic Association, be the connection between this office and the general public.
I think people often have a misconception of how many people are in this building. I mean, even people in Boone don't understand, no, there's only 14 of us.
You know, when you're a staff of our size, we've got to work together. You can't be in a silo, just kind of hunker down on your part of this. We've got to bounce things off of each other. We have to collaborate. We've got to share ideas, and we've got to jump in and help where we're needed. We've got a leadership meeting every week, and we make sure we go through everything and anything that we should be discussing and trying to figure out how are we going to do this. We have a lot of fun doing what we're doing. Why wouldn't we? We're around sports all day.
For me, it's important because I feel like I'm helping a child. You know, I have a child with high anxiety, and this makes a difference to a child like her. And so it's really cool to be a part of that.
But when the other states look at us and see the programs that we run, see how we run them, I think they say, you know, Iowa does it pretty well.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Frank, when you think Fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sun-kissed orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
And welcome back. Once again, we are live at the IHSAA State Soccer Tournament presented by Farm Bureau. Today's broadcast is complimentary to view by the IHSAA on YouTube and the IHSAA's website. Hunter Phillips alongside Sam Kane. Delighted to have you with us here for day one at State. Beautiful day here in Des Moines. Great conditions from the morning and, of course, going into the evening when we get to 4A programs. But right now, Sam, Bishop Heelan has to be feeling pretty darn good about themselves, up 3-0 after 40 minutes. Still, of course, a lot of soccer to be played, but if you're Webster City, you know that, again, that urgency is going to be picking up right when we get the opening touch here started and see what kind of adjustments are made for both sides.
Yeah, it should be an interesting second half, and you know, it's important now Webster City, approach this second half with the mindset of urgency for an early goal, so they can find their ways, find themselves back in this game.
Once again, Webster City, black and white kits with faint purple numerals and lettering and trim. Early flurry here from the Lynx. We saw Torres really get involved in the last 10 minutes of the first half. He is someone that can certainly make things happen in a hurry. And meanwhile, Bishop Heelan, they're in their road white kits with navy blue numerals and lettering and trim. 4 versus 5 matchup never disappoints. Sure to have a lot of excitement here in store. These final 40 minutes. Strong shot put on goal there by David Villegas, a freshman. Landon Block has been superb at goal here today. He has had to make a couple of really big saves. Again, the winner of this game will go on to face either Gilbert, the number 1 seed, defending champions, or Centerpoint Urbana. Last score update to start the second half, 2-1. Gilbert on top of Centerpoint Urbana. Other scores, Decorah on top of Perry 1-0. Davenport Assumption up 1-0 over the 2 seed, Glenwood.
Yeah, it looks like Torres and Fuentes are now playing alongside each other up front. I think I like that decision from the coaching staff of Webster City, because one of them can't do it all by himself, and now you're going to see a little bit more support from the other man, and that's going to create a little havoc, for this Bishop Heelan defense.
So far, good start here to the second half for Webster City. Velasquez has been called for a few fouls here today. Just a little slow to get up there on that far side. I believe that is Fuentes. Resume play off the free kick. Had the right idea. That was Villegas. There to the midline. Now looking to build here along the far end. That one put there off just to the side. Boy, Webster City, they are knocking on the door.
Yeah, they've come out with that emergency that we spoke about early on, and it's going to take that, to call back into a game down 3 goals. You need to have that understanding that this is a mountain to climb, and we got to go now, guys.
And maybe it's easier to knowing what the task at hand is instead of maybe being on the defense a little bit, especially for a team that's as high scoring and talented as Bishop Heelan. We'll just see how it plays out. Lynx are just throwing everything at the Crusaders here within the first 4 minutes. Bishop Heelan here at state for the 8th time in school history, searching for their first state championship, as is Webster City. Whoever comes out victorious, certainly a big step forward to potentially hoist their first ever state championship trophy for boys soccer. Collected by Andres Gonzalez. Hit the 3rd goal for the Crusaders there in the 25th minute of the first half. Player down for Bishop Heelan. Get the foul here on Webster City. Just a little slow to get up. Ryan Rios. Tough challenges on both sides. Off the free kick. Boy, it really got there in a hurry. But so too did Edwin Nolasco Ramos. Scooping it in. Short-lived possession for Webster City. Back on the attack are the Crusaders. Numbers here for Webster City. They're looking to push here near side. Sabanos scored the 2nd goal for Bishop Heelan here today.
Yeah, he's been strong today. Number 3. Sabanos controlling that back line. Good poise in possession of the ball, and he's won that physical battle. He's made it very difficult for Fuentes and Torres to really establish any rhythm.
Patrolling along the top. Cutting back.
ball a little too long. You know, there's just not that connectivity of 1 and 2 touch amongst the group today, and it's allowing them to fall short in key moments.
Sending it forward nicely was Cesar De Leon for Bishop Heelan. Just maybe some indecisiveness on the part of Webster City at times.
Yeah, and this is, you know, as coaches, you know, we really stress having an identity and having a clear understanding about how we play when we have the ball, how we play when we don't have the ball, because it just allows the players to be a little bit more free and open, you know, in certain moments of possession, right? As opposed to just running and head down, not really connecting and playing almost this individual game.
Trying to build once again. Arguera Chavez, far side, trying to create a little magic. Eddie Fuentes was in a good spot, but block once again. Has been able to read the Lynx very well and sends a beautiful kick to try to stretch the end of the field. But the wind to their back. Again, not a big breeze today. I'm here just a tad, but 10-mile-an-hour gusts here and there. Villegas. Active start here to the second half. First substitutions coming in here for Bishop Heelan. Looks like one of them is Gabe Newberg. Had one of the big goals in their sub-state win over Sioux Center. Bishop Heelan team that really has some quality depth. That's helped them get to this point.
Fantastic defending there with Sabanos, you know, waiting for that moment to challenge the ball and did at the perfect time there, and an excellent decision to play out quickly into the feet of his second line of the midfield.
He's done just a little bit of everything today. Been awfully impressive. Player down for Webster City. Continuing play, Eddie Fuentes trying to carve in, find some sort of an angle, but Block is able to bring it down. Maybe some cramping here on the part of player that's down for Webster City.
Yeah, we're looking at Fuentes. I'd say one of his strengths is running at speed with the ball, and you know, no defender really, if we're being honest, wants to be defending a player of that caliber that can, you know, change pace on the dribble, shift quickly from left to right, right to left. And for the most part today, he's done a tremendous job, Mr. Sabanos, number 3 for the White and Heelan.
That just goes to, again, the competition that they face. I mean, it can be awfully grueling facing players like that through the course of 2 full halves. Eric Torres was the player down for Webster City, and he is able to walk off on his own. Hopefully get a chance to see him back. But I mean, you look at the teams that they have played. Underwood, top scoring team in Class 1A. Western Christian, they're the defending Class 1A champs. Beat them 6-2. Gilbert, 1-0 loss. But also facing teams in 4A like Sioux City East. And this is a team that they know how to be able to challenge themselves in the right way. And it certainly helped. Good ball movement here. Excellent display by Miangos. He is a special player.
Yeah, it was magician footwork there from Miangos, just showing the quality he brings. You're not a one-trick pony. You know, again, it's just a goal poacher. Has that ability to dice and slice, as we can see here. Unlucky not to hit the target.
Has an assist today. That coming on the 3rd goal for the Crusaders. Certainly when you have a player like Miangos, certainly opens things up for everyone else, and that is what's made the Crusaders one of the top teams in Class 2A this year. Sprinting to the other end are the Lynx. So we have a throw in here for Bishop Heelan. 10 minutes into the second half. Villegas trying to work it to the middle. Tough play for it right in front of the Webster City bench. Two teams again that were here at State a year ago, but the first ever meeting between these two programs. For Webster City, this their third appearance, second in a row. Have their work cut out for them. Sabanos, 3 there in white. Been a big reason why the Lynx have just been stymied today, trying to find the back of the net.
You know, as you were saying earlier about the schedule, you know, there can be a tremendous benefit to having a competitive schedule, not only as a coach, because you really get to see your team in, you know, its full competitive environment, right? You know, playing against previous state champs, you know, ranked teams, etc. And it's those moments where you learn, right? As a coach, as a player, you know, playing against the best competition, and it sets you up for these moments like today. And if we're comparing Webster City, they've only lost one game all season. So if we're, you know, looking at both schedules, to be fair, I would say Heelan probably have had the more competitive bout of games this season during the regular season.
And a lone loss for Webster City came back on May 9th against Humboldt. That was a 2-1 defeat. Otherwise, they pretty much rolled through the North Central Conference. And mentioned it earlier, too, Bishop Heelan, their last loss came against Lewis Central, the then top-ranked team in Class 4A. And they are a perennial powerhouse. And so that, along with other opponents in the Missouri River, has helped them, but Webster City right now is trying to help their cause. All stem from Aiden Ray. Just too much pace on it from Aaron Mendoza.
Yeah, Aiden Ray showing some great pace there, driving the ball forward. That's the first bit of offensive flair that we've seen of him today. You know, as you can see, 40-yard run into the box and almost resulting in a goal.
Yeah, a little bit out of position, but said, you know what, gotta find something here. Hard sequence there for Villegas, swarmed by a pair of Crusaders. But as much as we talk about Bishop Heelan, and rightfully so, how good of a scoring team they are, and they're defending third, they are just as tough.
They're an organized team. You can see the way they transition when they lose the ball. You know, they get back into position with intensity and purpose. And, you know, that's a credit to the coaching staff and the culture that they've built, you know, within this program.
Only 9 goals conceded this season by Bishop Heelan, on top of being a top 5 team in goals scored. Dangerous combination for opponents. Bringing more personnel in, Webster City. Trying to gain some sort of spacing within the channel, starting from the outer, and now going with Ramirez Carmona. Reset to the back line. Israel Torres. Fuentes. Ball just escapes him. Sam, they just have not been able to get those, like you talked about, those 2 to 3 player personnel passes together. And that's just a credit to, I guess, the communication, really, of Bishop Heelan and having everyone really wrapped up.
Yeah, they've done the homework, as you would say, on the opponent today of Webster City. They're fully aware of the strengths and weaknesses of Torres and Fuentes.
And that one is going to stay outside of the goal line. How did that happen?
Who have been, for the most part in this game, the biggest offensive threats for the Lynx.
Boy, Webster City very fortunate to not give up another goal. A lot of fans here supporting the Lynx and trying to will their team on. But, going back to an interview that I heard with Coach Herbst of Bishop Heelan, he goes, not really familiar with Webster City from different parts of the state. He's like, looking at the numbers, I feel like we play similar styles. So I feel like there's just going to have to be that one area where we have to have the upper hand, and so far it has definitely come on the defensive side.
Yeah, it's that roll up the sleeves, blue collar mentality. It's not always pretty, but if we're looking at the statistics, I would say Heelan have probably been over 75% with first and second ball percentages today, and over the course of a game, that's a huge positive, when we're looking at a result. And we're going to the wages in Vegas. I would put my money on a team, that's weighing in those statistics.
Kind of an odd deflection there, but it goes over the goal. So the Crusaders able to successfully defend. Indirect free kick. Now subs in for both teams. Here's we're approaching the midway point of our second half. That one went just above the bar and then just danced around the top of the net there. Close moments here today for Webster City, including this last one here. Get another glance at just how it just missed. But just calm and composed. That has really been the MO here for Bishop Heelan. That's a dangerous long ball that gets corralled in by Nolasco Ramos. So continuing to provide some score updates. Davenport Assumption still leading Glenwood, the 2 seed, 1-0. That's 38 minutes remaining in regulation. That'd be probably not that big of a surprise, as Davenport Assumption is such a good team. And meanwhile for Decorah and Perry, it's still Decorah up 1-0. There are 24 minutes remaining there in the second half. And finally, the game that fans here are going to be curious about, because it'll be the semifinal match. Good volley attempt, but thwarted there by the Lynx. That between Gilbert and center pointer Banna Gilbert up 2-1. That one down to less than 10 minutes to play. And semifinals will take place on Friday. And we're going to get another foul here on Webster City within the 18. And we'll get another look at how it played out.
Yeah, he didn't really play the ball there. And I can't argue with the ref on this one. Good call, and another opportunity for Heelan to make it 4.
Gonzalez looking for his second goal. And he has it. Two-goal day for Andres Gonzalez. And now the lead is up 4-0 here for Bishop Heelan.
Looks like a very comfortable team at the penalty spot, and certainly a team to be aware of if, you know, they're facing you in the next phase and you're going into that extra time and penalty kicks potentially. You know, it looks like they're well equipped for that moment, and excited to see how, you know, they attack the next game, because at this moment that fourth goal has really looked to, you know, kind of kill the energy out of the game for Webster City.
Well, I know we touched on this early in the first half, but going into this state tournament, Bishop Heelan had made 2 penalty kicks all year. They've made 3 today. And they have made them count. Just really took the wind out of the sails for Webster City, especially in the 3rd minute for that to occur. And then one just 5 minutes later. Webster City has tried to claw their way back and have had opportunities. We've seen more of them really here in the second half, but Bishop Heelan just really relentless in terms of their pursuit. And they have looked awfully impressive. So looking like a second consecutive trip to the semifinals. And if Gilbert is able to hold serve, that'll be a rematch. And won't that be fun to watch?
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to be excited for that if they're able to hold on to this 4-goal lead today.
Still 18 minutes remaining. Webster City just feel like they're just one play away from really getting things going. Shot was there from Torres. Player down here for Webster City. All these student athletes giving it their all here today. A lot of hustle and heart shown out there, and that's why they're here. It will be a goal kick here for Landon Block, who Sam has really been impressive today, and what you would come to expect from an upperclassman keeper. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. I mean, only conceding 6 goals on the season and just a shade under 93% save percentage. I'm sure that the back line really hasn't given many opportunities for the opponents this year to really put stuff up on Landon Block, but he's made big plays when needed here on the afternoon.
Hasn't really been tested today, if we're being honest, but, you know, has a good presence back there, great size and punting range, and, you know, seems to be comfortable on the ball, you know, when it's played back to him, you know, with his feet either side. So excited to see, you know, how he evolves into this tournament, because as we know in these state tournaments, as we get closer to the championship game, the keepers have to come up big and they have to make big saves. So, you know, I'm sure there's going to be a lot leaning on him as we progress in this tournament.
Oh, if my memory serves me right, 2 out of the 4, or at least 2 of the championship matches last year. Ooh, nice play, speaking of the keeper, by Nolasco Ramos, really rising up to snare that one. 2 of those championship matches were decided by PKs. Nolasco Ramos is just a freshman, and he's only going to continue to get better.
What an experience for this young man, and just rising to the occasion there and getting up and being big, and a strong presence in that goal area.
He's had a great freshman campaign. Again, there are a strong number of freshmen and sophomores on this Webster City team. They're not going to go anywhere. They have been the class of the North Central Conference. But just hoping for a better result this time around. Good ball that was swung in there from the goal line. Another excellent play by the aforementioned Edwin Nolasco Ramos. Play there in front of the Webster City bench. Trying to pass the ball effectively here. Valuing the possessions here with we're approaching the final 15 minutes here in Des Moines. Still continuing to keep everyone updated. 2-1 still the score. Gilbert over Center Point Urbana. 3.5 minutes remain over on field 9. Sam, it's always a lot of fun, too, just seeing how spread out all the action is here throughout the day on 4 different fields. Fans from all across the state coming here for the great game. And I tell you, the fan support, it just continues to get bigger and bigger. We've seen it here on this very field, and it's just fun to see so much action spread around here at County.
Yeah, it's been fantastic to see, and to see the growth in the sport each year. You know, I was out here 3 years ago, and it was great. It was a great experience, but you know, you see more numbers in attendance. You see better play, you know, across the board from these young men, and it just shows the positive signs that we're making in this country in this sport.
It has really, really grown. And even at the collegiate level, you've been able to experience that firsthand.
Yeah, it's been great, you know, on the women's side especially, you know, seeing the improvement, you know, year by year, and seeing the involvement of, you know, different nationalities, you know, in the game. You know, if we're looking back 5-6 years ago, you weren't really presented with players from certain parts of the world because there just wasn't that infrastructure, and now there is. So great signs of what's coming ahead, and excited for both the boys and gals, you know, in the sport.
Yeah, big week here in Des Moines for both boys and girls state soccer, but this game certainly brings everyone together.
And let's also be very clear, in this country of high school soccer, not all of the states participate in this kind of contest. You know, I played in Connecticut as a high school player, and you know, all 4 years we were traveling away for our state quarterfinal game.
Wow.
You know, we didn't have the, you know, opportunity like this to play in front of all of these fans and you know, move from field to field to check out all the players and have the, you know, opportunity to also be seen by college coaches, which has been, I'm sure, a huge asset for these young boys over the years and gals.
Have to be able to get that opportunity to get an education, play at the next level, the game that you love. I mean, ultimately, that's what it's all about, and just the team aspect of it as well. And, you know, for a lot of these schools here this week is Bishop Heelan is continuing to make Nolasco Ramos work there at goal. Is not only are they successful in soccer, but you see a lot of the same student athletes competing at a high level in cross country, track and field, state baseball, football in some cases, basketball, and just that winning culture, but just being a part of a team, and that's what it's all about. And it's also really neat, too, for some of the games that get done early for the winning team. They get a chance to maybe do a little scouting report in person.
Absolutely. You know, it saves our coaches a couple hours drive back and forth. Can't go wrong with that. I know you're paying coaches out there listening. There's a lot of work that goes unnoticed.
Well, we're great to be able to provide the coverage again here on the IHSAA YouTube channel, also on IHSAA's website. Here at the 2024 Iowa High School Athletic Association State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. being able to go back and watch these games as well. So here it is for Webster City. Kicking into the wind. And Velasquez, active day today.
Yeah, Velasquez has been good. He just giving that consistency on the ball and possession, showing a bit of trickery on the turn to face his forward line, and it has been a big part today of just having that tempo control and maintaining that fluidity for the possession of Heelan.
Almost has been kind of like an enforcer today, and doing some of the little things that really, at the end of the day, help you really able to just wear down a team, which Webster City, as quick and athletic as they are, just you tell that they have just kind of slowed up here towards the tail end of this one. We do have a final from Field 9. Gilbert, the defending Class 2A champions, they defeat Center Point Urbana 2-1. So they will advance to Friday's semifinals, which I believe will be played at one of the newer facilities here in the state, MediaCom Stadium.
What a fantastic stadium that's been built over there.
One public schools taking part there. Of course, Drake men's and women's soccer, that's now their new home. They used to play here at County Soccer Complex. It'll be exciting, no doubt, but it will be a little bit different, no matter if the games are at Drake Stadium or at MediaCom Stadium. They'll be playing on turf, not on an all-grass pitch like here at County, so maybe that can, whatever team can adapt to those conditions may also play a role.
Absolutely. This is a thicker grass that, is on display today, so it will be an adjustment, but both teams will have to bear that adjustment, so it'll be up to those who want to be able to step up to the plate.
Another goal for Davenport Assumption. They're up 2-0 on Glenwood. Still 25 minutes remaining in that match.
Well, good vision there from Velasquez.
Feeding it ahead.
And a great goal.
Boy, these Crusaders putting on a show here in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, Velasquez, if you look back here,
we just got done talking about him a moment ago, but here he is just placing this ball perfectly up ahead.
Did a very good job opening up his body position before receiving the ball. That allowed him to see that forward run on that first touch. And then if we look back here, he drives that touch forward, waits for the run of Miangos, feeds a fantastic ball, and just an overall great goal. One to be proud of for these boys.
And you knew that Miangos was not going to be denied, just how he is able to just really see the field extremely well there in the upper third. And for Miangos, 28th goal on the season. And for Velasquez, that is his 8th assist on the year. Well, and with all of their goals today, they have now crossed over 100 goals as a team this season.
That's an impressive record. Certainly with the schedule that they've had this season, you got to be, happy with that. As a coach, as a player, as a fan, really interesting to see how they can impose themselves now in this semifinal, because it's a strong team. From back to front, they're going to cause anyone trouble.
Block with a good save. Eduardo Perez with his strongest shot on the afternoon. And just to kind of add to not only just the goal scoring, but just how they're able to orchestrate that. Now 62 assists as a team this year. 11 different players have tallied a goal here on the year for Bishop Heelan. And that just goes back to Coach Herb saying, we just love being able to share the ball, feed our guys in space, and then they are able to take care of the rest. So it's not, when you couple, again, that scoring, attacking prowess with what they have been able to do on the defensive end to limit a Webster City team that has some of the best goal scorers in the entire state. Boy, this Bishop Heelan team sending a message here on day one.
Yeah, they've won the physical battle from the beginning, and it's allowed them to establish the control needed to win the midfield and really have those opportunities that they've had in the final third. An overall fantastic performance, and really again just curious to see how this team could evolve into the potential championship.
So they will face Gilbert, a rematch of last year's semifinals. Another strong effort there on that shot that just blisters off to the left.
Yeah, Landon Block looked like he had it covered. His wingspan across that goal is one to be impressed with. This is very tall, strong athlete.
And that also gives the back line a lot of confidence too, and knowing that we got a keeper that if for some reason something just gets past us, he can really cover a lot of range. But still love the fight here out of Webster City. Season will come to a close here at State for the second consecutive season, but still wanted to be able to make some noise here in Des Moines. They'll finish out the year at 15-2. Again, would not be surprised if we see them at State next year because of a lot of the talent will be coming back. They will miss some big pieces, including Eduardo Perez. 19 assists coming into the state tournament, which was third in Class 2A. But the building blocks are there for this team, and again, the lessons learned here from facing a tough Nevada squad a couple of years ago as it bounces off the top post. A couple of those have bounced off the top post today for Webster City. Have not been able to get that lucky bounce, but last year falling to Nevada, this year to Bishop Heelan. Just go back to the drawing board. Still a very successful season for head coach Craig Signering. Final five here at County. Bishop Heelan set the tone in the first half, scoring 3 goals, 2 of which came within the first 10 minutes. And then adding 2 more insurance goals here in the second half to essentially put this one away. Going back to the bench once more, looks like Taylor Billings, sophomore, will enter the match here for Bishop Heelan.
Yeah, good opportunity for the younger classmen to get some experience here, playing in a big game and against good competition.
Lynx successfully defend the corner kick. It's one area that Webster City has done well today, really limiting just the corner kicks, those set pieces, but just unfortunate penalties in the penalty area.
Yeah, and one of the advantages of having such a strong lead is giving your guys a rest, right? And allowing some of the lower classmen to get involved and get the taste of being in a state environment like this. And, certainly can pay off as we progress into this tournament.
I mean, not only having the rest of today, but then you got just really one day in between. So that's the other side of it, too, that you got to think about. I mean, it is definitely a tough stretch, physicality-wise. So Coach Herbst really has to love that his team has the ability to rest their starters, but then also moments like this where some of the players that make a big impact on the training ground but may not get as much playing time get to enter in. That was Alex Gonzalez. Does have a brace around his left leg, but he received quite an applause as he came in. Gonzalez didn't quite get there. He's a senior. Again, 11 seniors on this Bishop Heelan team. And no doubt he's been one of the important ones. Trying to make something happen right away.
Bringing that Brazilian flair to the left side of midfield. You got to love that.
Aiden Ray was trying to defend Gonzalez. Stops play here for just a moment.
In a great area of the field, if you're going to be creative and you want to try a move like that, just as we saw here with Gonzalez with the scissor, you know, if he loses the ball, the team isn't going to be in dire straits, right? There's still numbers behind him. They can still transition relatively well to win it back. It's where you're doing those types of moves. If you're doing it in your defensive third and you lose the ball, now the team's going straight towards that goal and they're getting a shot off. So, you know, again, for those younger players at home, you know, it's good to have that creative flair. It's good to see that in young players. We don't see it enough, and you know, as a commentator here today, it's just refreshing to see a guy come on the field for a few minutes and have the courage to do it.
Yep, just showing of, again, the confidence, which has really been widespread throughout the course of this team. We've had a little bit of excitement across the way from us between Perry and Decorah, and rightfully so, because Perry was able to equalize the match with 4 minutes remaining. 1-1 the score. So the Blue Jays, community that's really had to unfortunately deal with tragedy here earlier this year. Well, you could hear the roar probably from downtown Des Moines. That's how proud they are of being able to cheer on their Blue Jays. So they tied up against Decorah. How about that strike? My goodness. Alex Gonzalez. Just so routine. Wins a corner kick.
Well, he certainly want to get the fans off their seats. You know, 2 moments there of brilliance. And already imposing himself in the game with 2 minutes left.
Clearly hampered by injuries this year. This is only the second match that he has appeared in, but making the most of it. Him and his teammates, they're going to be moving on to the semifinals. Final 90 seconds. Continuing to stay aggressive as they've done from the onset. Bishop Heelan. Unlike last year, Gilbert is certainly going to have their hands full. And I don't think this group of Crusaders forgot about how their season ended a year ago. So that'll be really fun to watch here in a couple of days. But again, going back to Webster City, what a season for them. Not the way that they wanted to end, wanted to get at least one victory here at state, but still for your season to end here, that's an accomplishment in and of itself. So again, their season closed at 15-2. They'll be doing big things next year. And as for Bishop Heelan, they will jump to 15-3. And we'll be back to a familiar spot. Last effort here from Webster City.
10, 9, 8, 7.
We're actually going to have a stoppage. Player got tripped up with 8.5 seconds remaining. So Webster City still trying to play tough and earn themselves a penalty kick. Bishop Heelan trying to go for the clean sheet here. Meanwhile, Eric Torres wants to be able to put something up on the board. He was there initially on the ball. Looks like someone else for Webster City will take this. That's going to be Eduardo Perez. Rightfully so, the senior. Trying to get one more goal to cap off a great career, and he does. 8.5 seconds remaining.
Well, that's a good consolation goal for this Webster City Lynx. Excellent finish. I mean, we're talking top of the goal, top corner, top ends. Fantastic finish here on this penalty shot.
Again, we'll go on to play at Iowa Western Tech Community College. So for Perez, 21st goal of the season. Now the final seconds go down. One more shot attempt. And at the end of 2 halves, the Bishop Heelan Crusaders cruise into the semifinals as they oust Webster City 5-1. Full time here at the County Soccer Complex. Strong performance by the 5 seed. They will rematch with Gilbert on Friday in the semifinals. Webster City, the Lynx, the 4 seed, coming up shy today, but a fantastic season for that group. So now here in just a moment, we will go back to our public address announcer for the trophy presentation, which will take place here at the center of the pitch. Here as we are midway through our coverage, day 1 here at the Boys State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. Another thing, too, Sam, is that 4 of the 6 goals scored today were by penalty kick. Something you don't see very often, but you just never know what you're going to witness, especially here at State.
Yeah, you just don't really see this at all. But in fairness to the referee, there were fair calls, and I probably would have given them myself. So, congratulations to this Heelan side. They really performed a full 90-minute effort today, and one they could be proud of, and one they could take with them into the semifinal bout.
Yeah, do not overlook this Bishop Heelan team. So again, 5-1, final score. And now we'll go down to the public address announcer for our trophy presentation.
Trophy from the Iowa High School Athletic Association is Mr. Chad Ellsbury, Assistant Director of the Iowa High School Athletic Association. Please join in congratulating the players, coaches, and fans of the Lynx of Webster City for a fine season and making the state tournament. Bishop Heelan Crusaders, your semifinal game will be played at Mediacom Stadium this Friday, May 31st at 10 o'clock a.m. Congratulations. And for all those leaving, safe travels home.
So that's a wrap here on this Class 2A quarterfinal. Bishop Heelan tops Webster City 5-1. So on behalf of our entire crew, led by our producer, Andy Pollack, and for my broadcast partner, Sam Kane, I'm Hunter Phillips, signing off from the County Soccer Complex in Des Moines, Iowa, and we thank you for watching the IHSAA State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.